What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now today I have another unboxing and first impressions. Now I did like a little poll on my YouTube page and it was asking you guys which boot you guys wanted to see next, like a review on. I had the New Balance Takeda, the Adidas Copa Pure Point 1, and these boots right here, and the majority voted for the Mizunos, so I brought these in for a review. And these are the Mizuno Morelia Neo 4 Beta Elites. Now this is the Elite version, not the Made in Japan version. I've heard that the Elite version is actually pretty good. So today we're going to check this boot out. So as you guys can see, here they are in the box. And it comes with no extras, no string bag, no nothing. And yep. But yeah, here we have it, the Mizuno Morelia Neo 4 Beta Elites. Oh my god, that's such a long name. I got it in this colorway. I didn't want to get the black and gold colorway that released, but those were on pre-order still, and apparently they come in January. So I honestly didn't want to wait that long. I wanted to get the boot in for review, so I just went with this color, which isn't bad. It's a brighter like orange red color with like hints of yellow and a little bit of white, which looks nice. I don't really mind bright colors. Alright, so first we'll talk about like the upper itself. And the upper here, it is leather here in the toe box, and then more like a synthetic like mesh material here on the forefoot. So here in the toe box we have a leather like toe box, and it is a kangaroo leather, and the leather quality is great. I feel like the difference between like made in Japan versions and like the standard version is that the made in Japan versions feel ever so slightly softer from right out of the box. They feel like they're already broken in. This, it's nice and soft, but I feel like they're just gonna get softer, as you like break them in. But like the made in Japan models, they're already like they feel broken in, and I feel like that's like the major difference between like made in Japan model and like the elite versions. But obviously with some playtime and like breaking them in, they're gonna feel just as good as the made in Japan model. So like the leather quality on this is amazing. It has a good amount of thickness. It's not very thin. It has some plushness to it. I'm actually pretty excited to try these boots, on the field. I will do a playtest video on these like somewhere in the future, so look out for that. Make sure to like and subscribe for that video and hit the bell notification so you're notified for that video. And then moving on to the midfoot here, it is like a different material. It is like a synthetic mesh maybe with like different like layers on the inside. You guys can see like a cage right here maybe. Hopefully you guys can see that. But yeah, there is a cage right here. And I feel like this will, it will reinforce the upper and it will have good lockdown here in the midfoot. It is on the thin side, so that's good, but it doesn't really feel like flimsy at all. It has a good amount of structure here. Here we have the midfoot, we have a knitted material. It actually doesn't feel all that like stretchy. It kind of feels a little like, I don't know, not as stretchy, a bit restrictive, which I guess is good because it will keep your foot like locked in place. And since there isn't really much stretch, it's gonna feel nice and snug. But for me, I kind of wish it was a little bit stretchy. It kind of reminds me of the Tiempo 10 and how much it doesn't really have that much stretch, which I guess it's fine. On the Tiempo 10, I wasn't really a big fan of that. I actually wish it stretched a bit more. What I love about Mizuno is that their heel liners are always like so comfortable and just premium. Here we have like a nice like synthetic like suede material, I guess, and it has a good amount of padding all throughout, as you guys can see right here. It comes like all around the heel, and it's nice and padded, and it's just super soft. I really like this like heel liner, and I'm guessing that it's going to provide a good amount of grip. We have like an extended like piece right here, which isn't really needed, but I guess it doesn't really bother anyone because it is like just knitted material, and it is pretty soft and flexible. Here in the heel, because of the external heel counter, there is like nothing here, so I feel like there isn't really going to be any pressure points here in the heel. It's going to be pretty comfortable, like I said. And now we have like the sole plate, and this sole plate, it's like a one-piece sole plate with an external heel counter, and this boot, it just makes it really light. So the boot itself is actually pretty light. I think it weighs around like 7 ounces. And the sole plate itself, I feel like it's not really that like snappy or responsive. Like it does have a little bit of snapback, but it's nothing major, nothing like an Adidas X or anything. I feel like it's more flexible than anything else, and I kind of like that just because obviously if you guys know me and like seen my previous like reviews, I actually prefer something that's a bit more flexible and more natural. And the stud pattern is all Chronicle studs, nothing special there. You're obviously gonna get a good amount of movement and a good amount of bite. So I feel like it's a pretty good stud pattern. Nothing special, nothing crazy. I have tried them on feet, And I don't really have a space to like show you guys an on feet section. I am working on getting like a turf so you guys can see on feet when I do reviews. But for now, I'll just share with you guys my thoughts. Here in the toe box, it actually feels pretty roomy. It actually doesn't really have like a narrow toe box, even though it kind of looks like it. My toes here were really comfortable. Here in the midfoot, you do get more of a like a tighter sensation, but it's not overly tight. My foot actually felt pretty comfortable in these. I felt like I didn't feel like the midfoot was like crushing or squeezing my foot at all. I feel it has a good amount of width, even though it is like a speed boot. I feel like people will fit in this pretty comfortably. The only like annoying thing, like I said, it is the like knitted material. This doesn't really stretch all that much. There's like it's kind of restrictive in my opinion. So it kind of makes it difficult to put the boot on just because like this area doesn't really have a good amount of stretch. But once on feet, since it doesn't really stretch, it just, it feels really secure and snug. It kind of feels like snug, but it's not like squeezing your foot. So it feels really nice, pretty comfortable. In terms of sizing, I did have a little bit of space here in the toe box, but it's not like a crazy amount. And if I go half size down, they're just going to be too tight here in the toe box as well in the midfoot. So I just went true to size, and I would honestly just stick true to size. So I would just recommend if you guys are planning to get these, just go to true to size. I feel like if you go down half size, they're gonna be too tight. But if you guys like, that tight sensation, and you do have like a narrow foot, then maybe going half size isn't a bad idea. But for most people, I would just recommend going true to size. This boot kind of feels like a leather vapor, just with like a bit of a wider toe box in my opinion. And I really like that the vapor is actually a really solid boot, and I have been enjoying it lately. So this is a really good option if you guys want like a speed boot with a leather upper. And like I said, this is the elite model, so it is like $200. And for $200, this is such a good boot. Like the leather quality is amazing, the build quality is there. It's a lightweight boot. The fit is great. And I wonder how different the made in Japan model is from the elite version, because this boot is already like, just by the looks of it, it's a great boot. In terms of performance, I don't know how it's going to perform yet, but I'll let you guys know in the playtest. But yeah, so far I'm really impressed with this boot. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. Since I haven't worn them yet, I might not be able to answer all the questions. But as I start to wear them and play with them, I'll do my best to answer them. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like. Also subscribe. I will be doing, like I said, a playtest video. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification to get notified for that video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.